Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So we are in the 13th video of this series where we are discussing social information networks in detail, the different important concepts. So if you haven't yet checked the other videos, do check them out. I've given the link to the playlist in the description below. So in today's video, we're going to discuss some important concepts in social information networks again. So the first one that we will be discussing today is eccentricity. Then we are going to discuss diameter. Then we are going to discuss the radius. And then we are going to discuss the center. So we are going to discuss these four important concepts in social information networks today. And let's get started. So before we start, let us discuss what a shortest path means. Okay, so shortest path is basically, as the name suggests, it is the shortest possible path between two given nodes. So for example, let us say we have a graph like this. Okay, so to go from node number 1 to node number 4, what are the paths that we have? So we have two paths, right? One goes through 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the other path is directly from 1 to 4. In this case, this is the shortest path possible. So this is basically what shortest path is. Now, as we move forward, now let us look at what eccentricity means. Now that we've understood what shortest path means, now let us understand what eccentricity actually is. Okay, so let's take a graph as an example first. Okay, so let's say this is a graph that we have. Now, what is eccentricity? The definition of eccentricity is basically the maximum of the shortest paths that are there to any other node in the network, which basically means that for each node, we will calculate the shortest paths to every other node in the graph, and the maximum out of all of those is basically the eccentricity of that given node. Okay, we will understand this better when we solve the problem here. So let us calculate the eccentricities for the nodes here. Okay, now first we have to calculate the shortest distance matrix, right? First we have to make the shortest distance matrix, which is what we have: node 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So for nodes of the same uh, same like from 1 to 1 there is no distance, so we just put hyphens there. 1 to 2, what is the shortest distance that is there? It is 1, right? 1 to 3 is also 1. 1 to 4, the shortest path is what? 1 1 to 4, this, right? So it is 2. 1 to 5 is again 2. 1 to 6 is what? Is also 2, right? So from 1 2 and 6, so which means it is also 2. Now this will give us the eccentricity. What did I say eccentricity was? Eccentricity is the maximum of the length of shortest paths. So for node number 1, what will the eccentricity be? It will be 2, because out of all these values that we have, 2 is the highest. Now for node 2, what is it? It will be 1. Again 2 to 3 does not have a direct connection, so it will be 2. 2 to 4 has a direct connection, 1. 2 to 5 there is no direct connection, so it will be 2. 2 to 6 is what? 1, right? So the closest distance, or the highest of the shortest distances is 2. Then from 3 to 1 there is a node, 3 there is an edge. 3 to 2 it is 2. 3 to 4 is what? 3 to 4 has 3 edges in between. The shortest path is, so basically for 3 to 4 also you have two options. One is to go like this and the other is to go like this. So either ways it is 3. So therefore 3 to 4 is 3, 3 to 5 is 1, and 3 to 6 is 2. The highest out of all of these is 3. Then for the node 4 we have 2, 1, 3, 2 and 1. Highest is 3. Node number 5, 2, 2, 1, 2 and 1. So the eccentricity is 2. For node number 6 it is 2, 1, 2. 6 to 4 there's how many? 1, there's a direct connection. 6 to 5 is 1 and 6 to 6 is hyphen. Highest is 2. So basically this is how you calculate the eccentricities, right? So eccentricity is basically, as we have defined it, it is the maximum of the shortest paths possible from a given node to every other node in the graph. So the eccentricity of node 1 is 2, eccentricity of node 2 is 2, eccentricity of node 3 is 3, eccentricity of node 4 is 3, eccentricity of node 5 is 2, eccentricity of node 6 is also 2. Now, so we have understood what eccentricity is. Now let us understand what diameter is. Diameter is basically the maximum of the node eccentricity values. That is, out of all the eccentricities of all the nodes, the maximum eccentricity is known as the diameter. Diameter is what? It is the maximum of the node eccentricities, which is what in this case? It is 3 for this particular graph. Now, what is the radius? We said we're going to discuss what radius is also. So what is the radius? The radius is basically the opposite of the diameter. It's not the radius that you've discussed in math. It's not diameter divided by 2. It is basically the radius is defined as the minimum of the node eccentricities, which is what in this case? The minimum is 2, right? It is 2 in this case. Now, what is the other concept we thought we'll discuss? Okay, the center. Now, what is the center? A node is said to be a center if its eccentricity is equal to the radius, right? So the radius is 2 in this case. So whichever nodes have a radius of the radius of 2, those nodes, whichever nodes have the eccentricity of 2, so whichever nodes have the eccentricity of 2, those nodes are known as the central nodes, right? So in this case it is, so whichever nodes have the eccentricity of 2, they are our centers. So in our case it is 1, 2, 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 5 and 6 are the centers of this particular graph network that is there. Right. Now let us discuss another concept called Wiener index. What is Wiener index for a graph? Wiener index is basically the sum of all the shortest distances in the graph. Okay, so the sum of all shortest distances is what in our case it is basically the sum of all the values that are there in this table, right? So it is the sum of all the values that are there in this table. If you add these values, it's 1 plus 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 26, 27, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 44, 46, 47 and 48. So the Wiener index, or the sum of all the shortest distances in the graph, is basically 48. That is what Wiener index is. And one last concept or one last point that we are going to discuss in this video is the average path length. So the formula for average path length is basically Wiener index divided by n into n minus 1, where n is the number of nodes that are there in the graph network. So in our case, what will it be? Wiener index is 48 divided by n is what? We have how many nodes in our graph? We have 6 nodes in our graph. So 6 into 6 minus 1, which is 5. So 48 by 5. If you cancel this out, 8s are, which is basically 8 divided by 5, which is equal to 1.6. So this is the average path length. So that's all I had for this video. I hope you got to learn a few things in this video. We've discussed the eccentricity, the diameter, the radius, the center, the Wiener index and the average path length of a graph network. So that's all I had for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you did learn something from this video, do like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching.